Good morning, Sig.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. So glad. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
So,
I
so
see you got dressed up. I did.
because you are the top professional in the venture capitalist, I thought I'll not do today, but huh? Sig? Yeah. Sig, can you move to? Can you come to the center of your frame? Um, Maybe you move the camera so that you are looking center of your frame.
More like that.
Yeah, more little bit. Your right side is more, left side. You can tilt that little left. Yes, yes, little more. Yeah, now it is good. Yeah.
Well, see, now I'm not even almost not looking at the camera.
Okay, now I think it's good. Maybe if you can do straight like this, that would be good.
No, I can't.
You can't?
See, I'm doing an iPad,
iPad. Oh, okay.
and that is the most upright I can get the iPad.
That's fine. That's fine. I think we are good to go. That's fine.
See, I don't use a laptop. I don't, and my desktop doesn't have Zoom capabilities.
I know. So now you have for the laptop, you have a small keyboard. Wherever you go, you use
No,
that.
I just use the iPad keyboard that comes with.
Oh, with them. Okay, right.
Yeah,
I know.
the iPad I have found is just a lot easier to carry and do. I can do 98% of what I need to do on my iPad.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I also don't type long memos or do long spreadsheets because that I would not do on my iPad.
Yeah, I think you will have your own team who will does on your suggestion.
Well, I don't have a team. I am me.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Awesome.
I
I think.
see when we did Mozilla Ventures, we had three partners,
Uh-huh.
but we had no administrative or analytical help. We did our own work.
That's awesome. Awesome, say. So when you wanted to do due diligence or anyone to review, you don't have anyone who does your documentation review as well?
No, no. If I felt that a legal review was necessary, I had the corporate attorney I could use. Due diligence for a technical, I had one of my three partners who was a technical
Oh,
CTO, so he could do that. And then reviewing like financials and contracts and so on, I could do that.
very nice, very nice. This gives me. I always used to think that you'll have a lot of people to do the
Yeah.
job now because you see a lot of companies you are part of and an advisory board. That's good to hear.
And even when I was an angel investor, I had one administrative support person,
Ah,
and that was it. Uh, so I got where I could write my own term sheets and everything very quickly.
I saw that you were also doing your term sheets and all those kinds of stuff. That
Yes,
was like wondering, like you do a lot of stuff.
yeah. Well, and back when I began, the National Association of Venture Capital had not yet come out with their forms documents. So we created term sheet and Series A documents between us and the attorneys, and then the NACV came out and developed a form, a document that made writing term sheet and docs much easier.
Amazing, Sid. Amazing.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get started. It's now 3 more minutes. I'll
Okay.
get all the team and they'll start.
And so, just so you aren't surprised, I don't give long answers. I give generally short answers.
Short answers.
You know, some
Yeah.
some people keep coming right and saying, "Don't you want to say more?" And I say, "No, I have said what I need to say."
Yeah. So, ready, Lalish? Lalish, ready? Okay. So it is 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that means I have to prepare more questions. Yeah. See, sometimes when I do podcast, I have like 15, 20 questions.
Yeah.
I never go beyond 6 or 7 because they talk more, and
Yeah.
I cannot abruptly stop them. And sometimes I feel it is easy. Sometimes the audience, sometimes some of my friends says, "Hey, I think your audience are longer. You need to, slowly. You should ask the questions which is very short, so that you get covered more."
Yeah.
So maybe I think I don't mind if even if you tell short. I have a lot of questions to ask. General way, how your life journey, which inspires others. People like me, we don't know anything about investments, right? So we just
Right.
became an entrepreneur. So many problems. So you might have all seen that. So I'll ask general questions, and then if at all things go, then we'll wrap it up by. Typically, mine goes 40 to 1 hour.
Okay.
40 minutes to 1 hour. If it is there, 30 minutes. I think people also will like short answers. They don't like complete long answers. Um, this calls me to last time only people were saying I did one with a doctor on sleep.
Uh,
So people, now I thought before we need to talk to them, hey, what kind of personality? You will tell long or short. Based on that, I'll prepare more questions.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think Lalesh will start. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Yes. Countdown. Welcome to TV5 and Mana TV. You are watching Insight with Praveen Puram live from Atlanta. We have been doing a number of episodes on Indo-Americans, NRIs who have achieved. We want them to inspire the young entrepreneurs or the young generation here. And we have been doing many things across culture, technology, and today we will be doing more about investment, right? When we talk about investment, we hear a lot of words like venture capitalist, angel investments, private equity investments, and so on and so forth. So today, our esteemed guest is Mr. Sig Mosley. Welcome to the show, Sig Mosley. Thank you so much for your time today. How are
You're
you?
welcome. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So before going into the deep dive of this angel investment, I just wanted to say thank you for all the sponsors like Spearsoft, CPA, and Rajamodi, which makes this show live and bring more people onto the show and educate, inspire, motivate from all the Indo-American community. So with that effort today, I just wanted to introduce Mr. Sig Mosley. Sig Mosley is also called as the godfather of angel investment. He's also a managing partner of Mosley Ventures, a venture fund investing in early startup technology, startups in the Southeast, and venture partner in Zane Venture Fund. He's an advisor for Silicon Road Ventures, and he also has a record holder of the largest Southwest venture deal with a 5.7 billion acquisition of TradeX by Ariba. That's a great achievement, Sig. Mr. Maudsley serves on the boards, different boards on the private companies. He also serves as a venture capitalist for the organizations like ATDC and the Tiger program in the Georgia Tech, and he also serves as an entrepreneur in Emory University at Georgia Business School. He also serves on the advisory board of the Evidence-Based Cybersecurity Research Group at Georgia State University. He serves on advisory board of local initiatives Support Corporate in Atlanta. He is a director and treasurer of Imlay Foundation. He serves as a vice chairman of the Imlay Investments. He's also on the board and Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurship and GATV. He's a managing member of Flashpoint Investors LLC. He inducted into Georgia Technology Hall of Fame in 2007. He received Lifetime Achievement from TIE Atlanta in 2011, from the Atlanta Business Chronicle in 2018. He received the John Imlay Leadership Award in 2010, and he also runs a award like called SIGI Awards, which is very prestigious in the Southeast. And many every year this award ceremony is there, and we have completed 2 days back this ceremony in Atlanta. Mr. Maudsley was also selected as one of the Titan 100 for 2022. In 2023, he was inducted into the Small Business Dealmaker Hall of Fame. He was also a 2012 speaker for the year award recipient from Emory Feldham Education Foundation. He received his Bachelor of Administration from Emory University in 1968. His hobbies include coin collecting, wine, and reading. What a fantastic journey, Sek. I think it's amazing. And let us know if we have missed anything in your journey.
No, no. Outside of my growing up, I grew up in a little town just north of Atlanta called Jasper. It had 2,500 people in the town, and I would kin to 85% of those people. So I grew up there. I came to Emory, and I've been in Atlanta ever since. I have traveled the world, but my home had always been here.
Excellent, excellent, Sek. Have you ever been to India, Sek?
Yes, I made a trip probably 10 years ago.
Excellent. So, Sek, this interview basically I run as a giveaway to the community, right? I wanted to inspire the community, younger generation, which with the people like you, to understand what is your journey, right? So, with that said, I just wanted to tell, first of all, what is your life look like? A day of a SIG look like?
Well, at this point, it is a little different than it may have been in the past. In the past, when I was very actively involved in investing, it would be getting emails, meeting with entrepreneurs, talking to entrepreneurs, then talking with the companies that I am already invested in, and then probably winding up the day with some sort of networking event to go to encourage entrepreneurs through networking and the ecosystem here in Atlanta. We have a very good ecosystem here, and I could be out every night of the week at some networking event.
Excellent, Sig. Sig, also, if we take a step back in your life, right? When you were before Emory University, did you ever think that you need to get into a line of investment of the startups?
No, that would have been the least thing, because when I was growing up, I get my concept of my really entrepreneurship with mowing grass. I used to mow 30 yards a week in the summer. And then I would work as the concession manager for football, baseball, basketball at my local high flu. And then when I graduated high flu for 4 summers, I worked in the local bank in Jasper. Mm-hmm. And got my business serious beginning there. But I really never thought about being an investor or an angel or a venture capitalist. But when I got into Emory my 3rd year, that when we began to pick our majors, I took one accounting course, and I knew accounting was for me. So I loved accounting. I took every course that I could at Emory, graduated with my BBA in accounting, and then I went to work for a CPA firm. Now, what I did find out was I was not a good auditor. I did not enjoy auditing. And so I had the opportunity to join a reasonably early company called Management Science America. in their accounting department. Now, I was one of 40 people in their accounting department, but I enjoyed it. It was different from being an auditor. A little bit on MSA, we went through a Chapter 10 bankruptcy. We went from 800 people down to 42. I was one of the two in accounting that they kept. And then we grew that company from basically nothing to over a $300 million company that got sold in 1990 to Dun & Bradstreet. Now, 300 million today is not a big number. 300 million in 1990 was a big number.
Big number, huge number.
Yes.
300 is huge number. So, see, when this happened, what was going on in your mind? And how did you think that when you came out of the MSA, then you thought about investing? Or how did this happen with Imlay? What is your relationship with Imlay?
Well, John Imlay was chairman of MSA, and he and I had developed a very close working relationship because we had both been there for 20 plus years.
Wow.
And so when we sold it, my job basically went away. Even though I got a 2-year employment agreement only because I knew where all the bones were buried. So they had to keep me around almost. But about 6 months into it, John came to me and said, you can sit here and draw your paycheck for 2 years and then you can be gone. You can't make any decisions. You just, that is what it is. Or if you want to go find something, I'll help support you and figure out your employment agreement. Well, I knew that John wanted to get his personal business out of the office at MSA because he had a very good friend that had sold his business, kept his personal business in his office, and then one day got let go and he couldn't get to his checkbook or anything. And so John just wanted to be sure that never happened to him. And so John and I negotiated a deal where I created his family office. I had already set up his family foundation and was on the board of that. And then the third thing that John wanted to do was to give back to the entrepreneurial community because it had been very, very good to MSA. Because at one point, MSA had over 16,000 people along the way. And we had gotten a lot of good people out of UGA, out of Georgia Tech, some out of Emory and Georgia State. So he really wanted to give back. And I was great. I was fine with doing that. I believe in building the ecosystem and giving back. And so he entrusted me with the desire and the ability to go out, and we started doing angel investing in 1990 before it was even called angel investing. So we started doing that, and over a 20-year period, we did 122 deals, basically all technology. Now, we did a couple of non-tech deals, and I don't take credit for those. I give credit for those to John. One of them being the Atlanta Falcons. We had a minority interest in the Falcons. But that is the way I got into it. The first year, it sort of began to show, because we had so many good people in MSA, we had a network of entrepreneurs and really angel type investors in the community. So they would bring up deals. We didn't have to worry about deal flow because it would come to us like the very first company we invested in came to us from a former senior VP of sales at MSA, that he was an investor in that company. Our second deal was from one of the acquisitions we had made. The CEO of that company had left and formed a new company, and we invested in him. And it just grew from there. doing the deal here, a deal there. Everybody began to get to know it, and so deal flow continued to come in.
Excellent. That's a wonderful story, Sid. See, the reason I was asking this question is how, see, we see you as a SIG, we see you in Atlanta everywhere, but we don't know how much struggle you have undergone through that. So anyone cannot become an angel investor or a godfather of angel investor in 1 year or 2 years. You have been like journey of 35 years, I believe, right?
Right, yes.
So one other question, why did you choose angel investors when you have so many kinds of investment types, right? There are so many types of investment vehicles. Why did you choose angel investment?
Well, it all come back to what we were trying to do. We had two purposes. One, we wanted to give back to the community and to help entrepreneurs. But we also were trying to build the community. The tech community was not that large in the 1990s. The tech community in Atlanta really came out of 3 or 4 companies. We had Scientific Atlanta here. We had NDC here. We had Veneer Processing here. And we had a telecom company out in West Point that were run by Cam Veneer. So those companies kind of formed the basis of the tech community in Atlanta. And what we were trying to do by doing our angel investing was to grow that community and enhance that. And the way to do that was by investing in entrepreneurs and getting other people to invest. And so that was our purpose in doing the angel investing. And we chose technology because John and I had been with MSA for 21 years. It was a computer software company. So if we knew anything, we knew a little bit about software. So that was the logical way for us to invest.
So I think it's a fabulous journey what we have heard about you. Now let's talk about little early days while you are investing. There might be some challenges for you, right? Definitely there will be some challenges. Can you tell us at least 1 or 2 challenges and how did you overcome them? Because when you are in the initial days, if you lose money, then your confidence will come down. I just wanted to hear from you what were those challenges and how did you overcome?
Well, the initial challenge is to be able to pick out the right people to invest in, because and you can do due diligence on people, but picking entrepreneurs is really done by a qualitative method, not a quantitative method. You meet with them, you get to know them, you try to understand where they're coming from. Do they know what they really are trying to do? Why did they pick what they were trying to do? And one of the key problems, opportunities, I should say, with entrepreneurs, do they know how to surround themselves with good people? You can be a A-level player, but you bring in all B-level around you because you don't want people to challenge you, because you want to just do it your way and get everybody just to do it. That's not the way you build a company. A good entrepreneur should have a layer player around him, challenging him all the time. Well, that can be very difficult to pick out in a player when you're talking to them. And just the way they treat employees and all of that, while they have never run a company before or anything, you go with your gut feel on how you feel about that person. But I also found that you have certain guidelines that you go by. You can't let your heart pull away from those guidelines. I have one example of an entrepreneur. We were in the process of due diligence with him. He had been hard to get a hold of, but he traveled. So, okay, I could give him that. But he brought in a new VP of sales, and I met the guy, and in 2 minutes, I knew he was the wrong guy. But I was so far down the path because I had all my investor angels lined up. And I had even gotten 2 VCs lined up behind the angel ready to come in to do the deal. I said, well, okay, I'll go ahead and do the deal. Well, I probably should not have done that deal because that deal took 17 plus years to work itself out. And I lost money in the process. So, that was a very valuable lesson. It took a while to learn about really sticking to what your principles are and not necessarily listen to the heart.
Excellent. Absolutely. So now coming on to the philosophy of this investment, right? When, first of all, as an investor, you should have some kind of domains or some kind of companies you want to invest. So what is that you look for a startup? Is it technology only, or is it any specific domain like fintech, health, or something like that? So what is your interest? What will interest you?
Well, we were we had a very broad approach to it. We were looking at business to business computer software.
Mm-hmm.
We did not really segregate by industries or type. We looked at the market and we looked at the entrepreneur, and those were the two primary driving things. Now today, it might be different in that different firms have different views. Some of them are now much more looking at, like financial technology or healthcare or whatever. Now, the one we did have a couple. I did not look at hardware. I did not look at medical devices, and I did not look at bio or pharmaceutical. Those were areas that I don't know, I don't feel comfortable in. And I told John right up front, we are not going to invest in those. And just to give you an example, I went to a bio presentation early on. Mm-hmm. And in 2 minutes, I knew I didn't belong in that presentation. I was lost in just the first 2 minutes. And so I knew that that's not where we should be. Now, you have other kind of investing. You can invest in consumer product goods and things like that. The consumer is a very, very difficult customer to figure out. So we tried to stay away from those and just really did enterprise type software deals.
And Sig, you told that when you went into your bio, you within 2 minutes you came out. What was John's reaction? Did he challenge you?
No.
He trusted you.
Yeah, because John didn't understand bio either. So
okay. So far, how many companies you have invested? I know that it is something around 170 or 173 or
somewhere around 175, 180. Because I have had investment through Imway, I have had investment through Mosley Ventures, I have had investment through Zane Ventures, and then I have had my own personal investments.
Excellent. So, Sig, one more question around that. You have into Imlay and you came into Mosley. What made you to start your own venture capitalist when you and John are looking very close and then each other complement each other? You are very confident between each other. I'm just asking this question because people tend to see that, hey, Mosley is starting his own now. There might be a conflict. So such things have come between you, or
no, John and I we have been great. We worked together 45 years in total. John, after 20 years, in 2010, John decided that he wanted to begin to reduce down the amount of investments that we had. So we discontinued doing early stage angel investing. I think, and we had a portfolio about 40 companies at that point. So I stayed for about 18 months and continued to work those portfolios. I found I missed being involved in what was going on in the tech community. I had gotten to, you do 122 deals, you get where, we even had an office on the Georgia Tech campus, and I was missing getting it. Yes, we had 40 portfolio companies, but I wasn't seeing new ones. I wasn't seeing what the new technology were. And so I missed that. So after 18 months, I talked to John, and with his approval, I started Mosley Venture. He was an investor, a significant investor in Mosley Ventures, and so I left full time employment with Emily. I still consulted back to Emily, and then did Mosley Ventures. Raised $31 million for that, made 23 investments out of that. And we are now in year 11 of Mosley Venture, a 10-year fund. So we are trying to wind down Mosley Ventures. But John and I were very close as we ever was. In fact, John unfortunately passed away about 9 years ago, and I am actually co-executor of his will, because I was still very close with.
Wow. So still you are with Emily. You take care of all the John's portfolio.
Well, I have my admin person who joined me in 1991 took over my position as president of Emily Investment. But they know, but again, that is just managing the public money and the foundation, and I am treasurer of the foundation. So she and I work side by side on Emily Investment, Emily Foundation.
Great to know that trust, Sig. It is amazing to know that how you have started, because when I am looking from my end, I feel that how that might be a conflict of interest. You answered my question. So there is a very in your 175 startups, what you have invested, what is your favorite startup which you like about them, and what you like about them?
Well, the natural answer is TradeX.
TradeX, I thought
because
so.
TradeX was the best investment we had. But it also gave me a unique opportunity, because when we began looking at TradeX, it had a business model that I did not particularly like. But I liked the software that they had. So I encouraged them to change their business model and to begin to license their software out to other people. And so I was able to, they looked and they agreed. So we invested in TradeX in 1996, it was. And I was able to join the board early on, and I got to know the entrepreneur very well. And he and I developed a friendship and a bond. And so as we continued to raise money over the 4-year period until we sold it, he kept me on the board. Very unusual for an angel to continue to serve on the board, because normally when VCs come in, you throw the angels out and the VCs come. But he and I were so close that he kept me on the board. And I were able to see it all the way through from the time that we invested. And we were the first outside investor in TradeX to the time that we sold it to Ariba. And so it didn't hurt that we did real well on the deal. But being able to be there and be a part of it and be involved in the decision making at the board level, it was a very unique experience.
So, Sig, that's really fantastic. 5.9 billion. I was just counting how much it will be in Indian rupees. Oh my God, I can't even count the numbers. So, how much you started investing and what was that investment? A rough, I just wanted to see within 20 years or so, how many years, I don't remember exactly, but what you invested and what you exited, just a rough, how many times you got that?
Uh, and now are you talking about Tradex? Or are you
Yeah,
talking?
tradings.
We put 500,000 in initially.
How much?
500,000.
500,000.
And we don't tell people how much we had in it. But we got 180 to 1 back. In other words, for every dollar we put in, we got $180 out at the end.
Wow, that's awesome. Amazing. I'm very, very happy to hear that, Sig. And let's come to the current landscape of investment, how things are going on. AI coming in and all those kinds of stuff. So, first of all, with your lot of experience, how this investment have evolved, and how do you see in the next 10 years how it's going to be this investment journey?
Well, the investment journey, it has its ups and downs.
Mhm.
Part of it is based upon how the economy in general is doing. Part of it had to do with new technology. Uh, we venture and angels tend to move in herds. When one, two start moving, they all move that way. Uh, an example of that is green technology. Back in I think it was early 2000, green came to be a big thing.
Mhm.
There were 400 investment made in green technology in 1 year. Probably 20 of those survived
Out. Okay.
because they were just people just and we overdo it. And that had been true in other areas, not just green. But so AI is a new thing that everybody is trying to figure out what to do with it, how to apply it. You don't you almost don't see a company today that says they don't have AI. When you ask them what it is, they can't tell you. They just say we got AI. You know, machine learning, you know, structured and unstructured files, all of those kind of things make up a part of AI. So now AI now has gotten to be a lot bigger. The valuations are just off the wall. And I think AI will have an impact. I think it will make changes to the way we do things. I think certain industries will have a greater impact with AI. Very much like blockchain. When blockchain came out, it people originally said that blockchain were going to impact everything. Well, it had not impacted everything. It had impacted financial services, impacted healthcare, and cyber currencies.
Mhm.
Those are your three major areas that blockchain have really impacted. AI will have a general impact along many things, but I think there will be some that will be significantly more impacted. Cybersecurity being one of those. Uh, Something that is now beginning to take hold in age tech, and more people are aging. We need more age tech technology. Uh, Supply chain and logistics can take advantage, I believe, of AI. Uh, so, no, and healthcare by any means, AI will be involved. So, those are the areas that I'm looking at, and I think will be impacted over the next, 10 years or so.
Excellent. So, before I go to the next question, Sig, I'm very curious to know from you, how do you keep up your technology? Because every 2, 3 years, you get new technology, new terminology, new initiatives in the terminology. How do you keep up because it is very important for you when you are investing, right? So,
Right.
how do you make up in your busy schedules?
Well, Google goes a long way in being able to keep up, but then also being involved down at Georgia Tech being involved at Emory. I can keep up there and at the ATDC places I am involved with that are also involved in technology. I can piggyback off of them, and then and just reading. I Google is a great way just to research things, but it also sort of gives you directions to go into where you can find what you need to know. And then I keep talking to people.
Exactly.
You talk to entrepreneurs and you talk to other investors.
Excellent, Sig. I think the reason I am asking this question is because when I'm doing this podcast too, I depend on so many sources, learn myself. Talking to people like you, I have to prepare myself, right? Otherwise, it is not going to be attractive. So, moving on to the deep tech and AI again. So, there is a lot of advancements in the AI, deep tech. So, what kind of sectors excite you to for your investments?
Well, I mentioned previously, H-Tech is one that you come in. I think the opportunities for H-Tech technology it grow in leaps and bounds.
Absolutely.
Cybersecurity. It seemed like every time we saw one cybersecurity issue, a new problem crept in. So I believe that we have an opportunity there. Healthcare, we are seeing tremendous advances in healthcare, both in the software and in medical devices. You look at supply and logistics. We haven't solved our logistical issues yet. We have seen in the past 3 or 4 years real problems. Ports closed down, or hurricanes happen, whatever. They are a lot of issues there still to be resolved. And I think that we will continue to see those grow.
Excellent. Excellent, Sig. And one other question I wanted to ask from my personal point of view, because I've been into quality engineering, quality assurance, and then so on. Did you find any of the tools which are into AI, like Vision AI, right? So, did you ever see in your career in these kind of tools?
Uh, no, because see, my investing for the most part ended prior to AI really beginning to get the impact. Because if you think about it, AI had only been around 5, 6 years. And,
Yes.
you know, while, and so Mosley were already done, Emily were done, Zane were doing it, but it wasn't significant at where we were looking. And then most of my personal investment were done really before AI got to the impact it has now. Uh, but like I say, every company you talk to tells you they have AI of some kind. So,
Absolutely.
I will tell you an interesting story. I did talk to one company recently, and they said, no, we will have very little AI, and we don't even talk about AI.
Oh my God.
And it was a cybersecurity company, and I would just it took me back. Uh, you don't see those these days.
Absolutely. Understood. So now the favorite topic again, advice for the Indo-Americans, right? So what message you would like to share for all the Indo-American community looking for to invest in startups and in their own ventures? What would be your advice?
Well, they are a great organization called TIE, TIE.
Mm-hmm.
They do a tremendous job of giving mentorship, having investor group, educating investors, educating entrepreneurs. Uh, TIE has a program for high school. They have a program for college entrepreneurs. They have the TIE Angel, and then they do significant mentoring. And TIE has like 62 chapters around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So they are a large number of them. They are, you know, they were the sponsor of the SIGI Awards.
Mm-hmm.
They do an Angel Con event. We're investing in venture Atlanta companies. They also do a e-commerce type conference once a year.
Mm-hmm.
They are the primary organization where most Indo Americans would be able to find help. Now in Atlanta, you still have, you have other accelerators and incubators like the ATDC at Georgia Tech. You got Atlanta Tech Village, and you got the Atlanta Technology Angels. So and you got like the Rays Forum at Emory. So you got the Hashry at Emory. So you have a number of different places where it doesn't, it good for the American, but also good for any entrepreneur and investor who want to get involved, to get help. But Thai by far has some of the biggest and most outstanding program, particularly for the younger kids, the high school and the college, because they run programs about being educated entrepreneur, and then they actually enter competitions that are international in nature. So you get exposure to all kind of entrepreneurs and investors.
Excellent, Sig. I think I also acknowledge I started long back, 2 years back, coming to the Thai, and I also volunteered to do some media work for them,
Yeah.
and I learned a lot of, and also I got to know from Thai yourself, and that is where we got connected, and it's a
Right.
great forum. So from this event, from this platform, I would like everyone to know that Thai is a good platform where we can start with.
Yeah.
Definitely ATDC, Georgia Tech, and also Emory. Definitely. My next question was on young entrepreneurs. I think you have already answered the questions, right? So now let's talk about building an ecosystem. You talk more about sustainability and all those kinds of stuff. So have you ever been in the angel investment in such sustainability companies?
Not sustainability per se. That would not have been why I invested in them. Sustainability is a subject that really came about more recently, and I do, I don't necessarily look at total impact when I invest. I probably should look more at that, but I haven't.
Excellent. Sig, in the encouraging the angel investment, right? So, how do you think the Indo Americans can participate in building a robust angel investment ecosystem in their community? So, what would be your suggestion? And also, second question: have you been part of the Indo American community startups?
Well, I'll answer the second question. So, yes, I am a member of Thai, and and I have participated in the Thai Asset Program, the Thai VA program. We have the SIGIs that are tied into it. So as far as investing, you have Thai Angels, which does a very good job. They look at companies every month, and they are one of the most active investors in the Southeast based upon their number of investments that they have made. You also have the ATA, Atlanta Technology Angels, which is a good angel group. You also have an organization called Angel Lounge, that is an organization that began in 2010 to help educate and support angel investors and would-be angel investors. Angel Lounge is one of educating angels on how, they get people to come and talk about what they have done, how they did it, what they did right, what they did wrong, so that you get educated without necessarily making all of the errors yourself. And that is, I am very supportive of that. And the ATA actually allowed technology. Angel has a class that they give once a year on being an angel investor. So there are many ways to do it. Now, I will say that you need to figure out your own personal asset allocation because angel investing, you can make money, but you also can lose money. And so you need to be prepared as an angel investor that the money that you are putting in, that you could lose. And so you need to know that you have enough money set aside somewhere else to live on and take care of your family. So that is critical. Now, the one biggest mistake that most angels, well, not most today, that used to make, and still some do, is they don't put about enough money for what we call follow-on investments. Mm-hmm. Like if you put $25,000 into an investment, I wholeheartedly recommend that you set aside another $25,000 in case you had to put more money into that original investment to keep it going until you can get venture funding. What happened is that entrepreneurs don't have yet to understand that it takes twice so long and twice as much money to get a company going. Therefore, when they raise money, they think they have enough to get it to where it need be. A lot of the times they do not. And so the current investor need to ante up again. And if you aren't in a position to do that, then you lose some of your preferences and your percentage of ownership. And it's just better that you always are able to do at least one follow-on investment.
Excellent. So it's very evident that if you are investing, you need to have some money for the follow-up investment.
Yes.
So, Sig, when you are investing in so many companies, so how do you influence them? Do you monitor their health monthly basis and give mentorship? Or how do you ensure that they are going in the right way?
Well, I have been fortunate enough to, in a number of cases, to be the lead investor. And as such, I generally get a board seat. Or you can get a board observer seat. And so you attend board meetings, and a way you have input there. And if you're not on the board, then you need to figure out how to work with some investor that is on the board to be able to keep up. Now, in some cases, if you have knowledge of the industry that the company is in, the entrepreneur also will want to work with you directly to get the benefit of your knowledge. But some entrepreneurs, I hate to say it, think they know it all, and they don't. And in those cases, it really is the board that had the influence with the entrepreneur.
Excellent. It looks like it's not a small job. It's very, very keen. You have to be what things are doing. And I'm wondering, still I'm not able to put my mind around how you are managing 175 companies, investments, and seeing from outside the world, right? You are not part of every single thing's happening in the company.
No, well, luckily not all 175 were at one time. They were spread out over a number of years. But I have been on many 25 boards at one time. And that takes a lot of work or just doing that. But then you still have to allocate time to do networking, to meet new entrepreneurs, and to look at new opportunities. So, I tell people being an entrepreneur, you need to be prepared to work 80 to 120 hours a week. Well, to be a great angel investor, you need to be prepared to work 80 plus hours a week.
Thank you. So, Sig, how many hours you spend every week?
Well, now I am in my semi-retirement mode, and I'm sending 40 plus in semi-retirement. I used to work, I would say 60 to 80 hours almost every week in the heyday. And,
It's
but that includes networking and things like that. So, but I could, I used to leave home at 8 in the morning and not get home till 8 at night.
wow.
And that would be 5 days a week, and then you might work a day or so on Saturday, and then once emails came along and got to really dominate everything, you know, I do emails 7 days a week
Absolutely, you have.
because if you don't, you'll get so far behind you'll never catch up.
So how do you balance your time with your family? See, that is very important to know.
Well, luckily, emails and things like that can be done at home. You know, you can go home, have dinner with wife and kids, and be involved with them, and then they can do their thing later, and then you can go and work on doing that, emails, and you know, like when I travel on vacation, like I was over in Thailand and Bali, and luckily they were 12-hour time difference. So I could get up in the morning and send out emails, and then I didn't have to worry about anything tonight because I didn't have to worry about it during the day. Yeah.
Absolutely. Great to know, Sig. Definitely, you have inspired all of us. Even today, you are very active and participant in all the networking events. That's great to know. So, who is your legacy for the future after you? Who is your legacy for this angel investment?
Well, I think if you look at the individuals who have won the Horizon Award
Uh-huh.
in the SIGGIs, the Horizon Award is for somebody who is angel investing and who is helping invest in the community and continue to move the community forward. You know, our first Horizon Award winner was Blake Patton. Our third was Sick Mojay. Uh, and recently we had Bill Majette. Those are all angel investors
Mhm.
who are currently investing, but they are investing in the community as well in company. They are trying to help build the community in various ways. And so those are the kind of people that will be my legacies that will continue to carry on.
Excellent. Sig, this also calls out to me to know more about how did this Siggy Awards came into picture. What what thoughts made you to run this Siggy Awards?
Well, actually, two friends of mine 6 years ago came to me and said, Sig, you have gotten so many awards, you don't need any more awards. But we would like to do an award to recognize angel investors that go unsung. You think about it, we recognize entrepreneurs all the time in various ways. We don't recognize the angels. So I said, okay. And they said, well, we would like to name it for the Siggies. I said, okay. My contribution to the Siggies, well, I was the one that created the bobblehead.
Excellent.
I wanted it to be something different. I wanted the word to be different, and people would remember it. And so the whole idea behind it was to recognize people that been doing what I've been doing, but don't get the recognition because maybe they are not doing this full time. Maybe they are not you know putting out the same amount of money, but they are making a contribution. They are helping founders. They are mentors. They're helping other angels, whoever has helped grow their community. And one of the SIGGI Award is for conscientious capital, i.e., who is doing social investing and so on, and trying to build that side of it. So we have various purposes within our SIGGI Award to recognize people that do different things. And then I say the Horizon Award is for somebody who is really helping carry the community forward.
So your consideration for this Siggy Awards is only in Atlanta or Southeast?
Right now, it only Atlanta. Because to do the Southeast, I would have to go and get to know a lot more about different places. They know central way to get information on angels. Not like venture capital. You can go to PitchBook or um, Crunchbase or some of those and find out about it. Angels don't report that way. So you would have to go to every city where there was significant angel involvement, find out who the angels were, and so they didn't know easy way to do it. So right now, the Siggies are here. Now we did create a new award this year called the Siggy Investor Hall of Fame that is going to outside of angel. It's going to go to VCs. It's going to go to PE and different type of investors. But again, here in Atlanta, and the first inductee into the Hall of Fame was Charlie Mosley. Now, no kin to me. It's crazy we have two Mosleys in the world and we aren't kin. But Charlie founded Noro Mosley Partners back in 1983, which was the first venture fund in Atlanta. And so we felt that he was the ideal initial inductee into the Hall of Fame.
Excellent. So this Charles Mosley is related to you, or
No.
Okay, but I see the spelling change, right?
Right. He had two E's in Mosley, and I have one E.
I saw that. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that. So, if at all anyone wants to start their angel investing, right? What would be the minimum amount they should have?
Well, if you join a group like Thai Angels, they will take investment of 10,000 and up because they consolidate everything into a special purpose vehicle. So 10,000 is kind of the minimum there. Now, as an individual angel investor, I believe you need to have 25,000 to put into a deal if you're not coming in with a group. So you had, and I feel that you need to be able to make 10 investments because you need to have a diversity of investment in various companies. And so to do that, I really think you need 100,000 that you would be willing to put out into angel investing. Again, coming through Thai, you can do 10,000, and you can get into 10 companies very easily.
Excellent. That's a good thought, Sig. I think you need to think through. I also wanted to definitely get into that so that you learn with that 10K.
Right. Well, also remember, you had to be an accredited investor per the SEC definition of accredited investors. You either had to have 200,000 salary or 300,000 joint, or you had to be worth $1 million.
Oh, to do that?
Yeah, because that is the definition of an accredited investor.
Okay.
Now, there are some crowdfunding opportunities for non-accredited investor, but I don't know much about those.
Okay, got it. So that's a good learning. Now I thought if I have 10,000, I can invest. So you cannot. You need to have certain accreditations.
Right.
Absolutely, that's it. And the other question I wanted to ask you, if any of the Indo-Americans, they wanted to be part of the networking groups, do you suggest anything apart from Thai, ATDC, or ATA, anything else they need to be part of?
No, I really don't. You got ATV, ATDC, you got Thai. You are well connected in the community, and you can see probably most opportunities. Now, again, I'm talking through a from a technology point of view. They are different organizations for bioscience. I think the Southeast Medical Device Association or something like that. That if you're doing bio or pharmaceutical or med devices, that they have their own groups, and I'm not addressing those.
Excellent. Thank you, Sig. The reason I'm asking all this is that is where I'm trying to create to bring you on, give some knowledge to the folks. Similarly, I wanted to do ATDC president. I've done ATV managing director. Then I wanted to do now Thai Atlanta Sankeet. So slowly I'm trying to build, at least my flyer will give a sense to all the young entrepreneurs or all these Indo-Americans, at least this is existing. That's my way of giving away to the community. That's
Well,
where I've been doing.
that very good because we need that.
Thank you. And the last question, we'll close this in the interest of time. So, if you had to summarize your philosophy in one sentence for aspiring angel investors and entrepreneurs, what it would be?
Well, for entrepreneurs, you know, I would encourage you to know the business world before you begin to be an entrepreneur, because just to go right into entrepreneurship without any business experience, it's challenging, difficult, and you'll make more errors than you would otherwise. For angel investors, I would encourage you that not only do you want to make money, but you need to kind of have a second purpose for being an angel investor. You know, you either are looking for a job, you are looking to stay current on technology, or you are looking to give back to the community. You make a better angel investor when you have a second reason to be that.
That's a great knowledge point what you have brought, say. So, with that said, the final question again to the community: what is your message to the Indo-American community on the investments and the entrepreneurs, and how are you engaged more with the Indo?
Well, I think that the the community need to engage. You need to be, and I hate to be a one person organization, but Thai is the community organization that if you begin there, then you can figure out if you want to be in other places. But Thai had mentorship, they have investing, they have education for entrepreneurs, they have within their organization, they cover everything that need to be covered as an organization to for entrepreneurs and angel investors.
Thank you, Sig. Thank you so much for the wonderful message. And we are blessed to have you on this show. And thank you for your time on a weekend, educating us, inspiring us, motivating us. So, with this, we will close this session today. All the Indo American community, please do watch this. And if you need any suggestions, any knowledge, please feel free to reach us. Sig is always available for the community and any inspiration on this entrepreneurship. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to you, Sig. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.